Hey guys, welcome back. Guess what? Another guitar. Big surprise, right? Boy, oh boy, this gas affliction is really out of control. But in any event, that's the newest acquisition. So let's talk about it a little bit. So first off, this guitar, which is a Firefly semi-hollow model FF338, just came to me hot off the press from Amazon. I was planning on doing this video as an unboxing. In fact, I started it as an unboxing. It was just too laborious and probably too boring for you by the time I got to the guitar. I mean, you really can't make up how they ship this thing. The initial out of box was probably 8 feet by 6 feet, and I'm not exaggerating. When I got this thing on my steps, it's a flat box about 8 feet by 6 feet. I thought it was a desk or something. Obviously, I saw the tracking number, I knew what I ordered, but I would have never suspected a guitar to be inside this huge box. And unboxing it, it was like Russian dolls. I mean, there was this huge box, outer box. I opened it up. There was another box marked Firefly in that outer box. And then within the Firefly box, there was yet another guitar-shaped box which had this guitar in it. It took me literally about 10 minutes just to get through the multiple boxes. Now, guys, that's good, I guess, in a way, because it is providing protection. But there's a certain degree of protection and a certain dimension of protection that is reasonable. And this was outside of reason. But in any event, what I got was this guitar. And no gig bag. All it shipped with was this cheap, inexpensive guitar cord and the necessary Allen wrench for adjusting the neck relief. That's it. No gig bag, no extras, no nothing. Just that. It also came with the Firefly, tag, right? And it also has a very helpful tips card in it. Now, let's just take a look at the tips just to see what kind of guidance they give us. And it says here, please don't put the guitar in direct sunlight places next to the local high temperature machine, outdoor temperature, extremely low or high humidity, humid places such as the basement, dusty places, and vibration-prone places. All of the above will cause different degrees of damage to the guitar. And actually, this was very timely. Most manufacturers don't include valuable advice like this. It was very timely that this was included with this guitar, because when I first got the guitar, my inclination was to throw it in the oven because I wanted to roast the neck, and get like that roasted look on the neck. And then, after I did that, I had plans of leaving it outside for several hours in my backyard to further bake in the wood, with direct sunlight. And of course, I have lawn sprinklers, which are usually on during that time of day. So when I bring it in, it's going to be soaking wet, and then I was going to throw it in the dryer to let it run through several spin cycles to dry it off. So, and that I guess qualifies as a device that would lend vibration or qualify as a vibration device. So, hadn't I gotten these tips, I might have, and I'm not saying I would have, but I might have, potentially caused some damage to this thing. So these tips were very timely. Okay, let's talk about the guitar. So it's a Firefly FF338, right? It's Firefly's version of the Gibson, right? ES335. I had one of these years ago, well over a year ago. And I was just curious again to see what these guitars are actually like. Now, this is just the first look. There's going to be no demoing, no plugging into the guitar. I'll come back later on and I'll do that. This is just my initial first impression of this guitar. And let's talk about it. So it's transparent green. That's the color. Comes in a matte green and this transparent green. Now, the transparent green, probably can't see it in this light, but has a very faint, if any, wood grain through the lacquer. It's very dark green. It does have a wood grain to it if you look at it in the right lighting, but it's not very readily easy to see. And the back of the guitar, you can see here, almost looks like a solid green, right? Solid dark green. But yet, in the right lighting, you can see a wood grain. But you have to look very carefully under the right lighting. So the grain is difficult to see. It really looks like a solid green guitar, but the green color is pleasant. I kind of like it. It has white binding, albeit painted on white binding, on the front and back sides and front of the guitar. It also has that white paint around the F-holes on the guitar. Now, it's done crudely, right? This is an inexpensive guitar. And the majority of issues you're going to have with these Fireflies are going to be cosmetic blemishes, sloppy finishing, etc., which at this price point can be expected. So these F-holes were done sloppily. The guitar does have, you know, some blems on it. It looks like glue over paint or something on the guitar. I don't know if you can see this in the corner there, right about, well, where's my finger? Right about there. I don't know if you could see it or not, but there is a blem. There's another blem here on the neck. I don't know if you can see it again. More paint, sloppy paint, blem in the finish. It's hard to see in this lighting. So there are going to be these issues with this guitar. Fret ends, they're sharp, right? And it's flip of the coin. In this case, I didn't get lucky. There were sharp fret ends on the neck. That's fine. Again, at this price point, I expect it. Deal with it. I'll file them down, smooth them out. I didn't plug it in yet, so I just did initially just to test it and make sure the electronics worked, and they did. But the last guitar, the biggest complaint I had with the Firefly, and you'll see this as a common complaint on forums, is that these pickups tend to be microphonic. I was curious to see if it's still the case. I'll let you know when I come back to the next video when we have a run through of the guitar and plug it in. Guitar is supposed to be maple all around. Top, sides, and back made out of maple. Neck made out of maple. Fretboard is supposed to be rosewood. I don't know if that's the case or not, but that's what they claim this fretboard to be. It is fairly dark. I don't know if it was painted or if this is actual rosewood. The nut on the guitar is described as being a bone nut. Could very well be a bone nut. It looks nicely cut. No issues with the nut. The tuners on here are your basic, inexpensive, sealed, import, Asian import tuners. Again, I don't have any comments on it until I give this thing a run through and have a chance to play it to see if the thing in fact holds tune or not. But again, common issues with these budget guitars are going to be quality of the tuners, probably the pickups, etc. This is a highly modded platform for this style guitar. These guitars typically are advertised on Amazon. They go out of stock real quick, and then they're sold as a modded version of this guitar. It's fairly heavy. I haven't weighed it yet, but I'm expecting this thing to weigh well in excess of 8 pounds, closer to 9 pounds. It does feel solid, does feel heavy. Has the set neck or set type glued neck on the back. No neck plate. What else do we have here? Yeah, so that's about it. In terms of out of the box, the string height is fine. Actually nice. It's perfect for where I like it. Not too high, not too low. Doesn't seem to buzz too much at this point, but I'll let you know. The controls, three-way switch, feels okay, like a typical cheap, inexpensive three-way on these import guitars. I don't know how these potentiometers are yet, the degrees of variance, etc. I haven't really fully tested them yet. Has these, fake, I'm sure, plastic inlays, pearl-like inlays on the fretboard. Attractive enough. I mean, it's a nice guitar. The headstock is not offensive to me. Just Firefly and that little, flame logo that they have there for the Firefly model. So again, first impression is guitar looks nice. It feels good to the hand. The neck is not super thick. It's sort of like a typical 60s style Gibson neck on the thinner side rather than the baseball side, baseball thickness of the old necks. I'm sure these are inexpensive ceramic pickups. That's my guess. But again, first impression of the guitar is nice. We'll let you know more after I plug her in and come back with a test run. Now, reason I bought it is I don't have any semi-hollows currently in my collection, so I wanted a semi-hollow guitar again. And also the price point. Amazon had these things on sale, or reduced, from $179.99 to $159 and change, which I think is a good price, because if you go to Guitars Garden, which is the website for Firebird Music, Firefly guitars, the only models they have of these semi-hollows now are the ones with the wood, the maple center board. You know, the middle of the guitar has like this maple strip to it. And they're $199.99 plus tax. No, I don't know if there's tax or not. I don't believe there's tax on their website, but you'd have to check depending on what state you live in. But they do charge $27 for shipping. So the guitar is like $25 and change, or whatever the case is, including shipping. This was a much better deal at $159 and change plus tax. So I went with this. I will put the link below, the Amazon link to where I bought the guitar. Again, I have no affiliation with Firebird. Paid out of my pocket for this thing. So that's my first take on this guitar. If you find these videos helpful, useful to you, please subscribe. Any comments on this guitar that you have, questions, whatever the case might be, fire them below. I'll do my best to answer them as quickly as possible. If you find these videos useful, guys, again, please subscribe. And as always, until the next time, be well and stay safe. Take care.